Hello, and welcome to a video on Tcl Package Manager. So, Tcl is a programming language that's used in a variety of applications, including OpenCs, which if you're following my channel, you probably know about that. And one of the issues with Tcl that I've run into is its lack of support for installing packages, especially on the fly. You can install packages manually, but there isn't like a package ecosystem like there is in Python or some other languages as well. And so I took it on myself to develop a package that allows you to install packages. And I use GitHub to kind of do all the interfacing with the internet, so to install it directly from GitHub. And yeah, so I'm really happy to get this out there because it's a way that I can share my work and a framework that allows other people to share their work. So I'm really hoping this will be something that can lead to a lot of collaboration within the community. So, if you know anything about Tcl, you probably worked with packages, because packages allow you to leverage existing libraries and streamline your code. And as I mentioned, Tcl lacks a package manager, and that can be a barrier. You might get a code that says package require foobar, but you don't have foobar installed. And it won't install it for you, it'll just throw you an error that say you don't have it. So that's why I developed Tin. Tin is on my GitHub, so you just go to my GitHub and install it. Follow the instructions. There's a couple different ways to install it, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a second here. But then once you do that, then you have Tin available on your computer, and you can load Tin in with the package command. And then once you have the Tin command loaded in, you can upgrade packages, you can install new packages, you can load packages in and import their commands. You also can, there's also a lot of utilities for package development. So if you're building a build file for your repository, for your package, you can use Tin to help that. So Tin is very much focused on using packages. Installing packages, using packages, building packages, you name it. Package. That's what Tin's about. Speaking of packages, there's the Tin list. So there's a list of all the packages that are available right now to install using Tin. They're all mine, as you can see, because I developed the framework. And I'm trying to get a lot of the work that I've been working on the last few years out there. And you can also, if you want to add a package to this list, to the official Tin list, just make sure it's Tin compatible, and we can work with that, and then do a pull request, and it can be added to the list. But if you don't want to go through that process, you can also just add a package to your own Tin list. So you can either fork the repository, make your own version of it, and use it for your own purposes, or you can use my version of Tin, and then you can have kind of a modification to the Tin list on your own computer. So there's save state functionality. So you can add a package and then save it, and it'll be saved to your user files. So, and once you have it loaded, you have access to all these commands, all these features as I mentioned. I have a little bit of an example over here. So all you need to do is not click it. All you need to do is do package require Tin, and then you have access to the Tin command. So, for example, I have my Tcl package, which I highly recommend checking out. It's object-oriented type system within Tcl with garbage collection, and so as you can see here, you can create a list that you can index using the at method, which is a little bit easier and more legible to read than using the lindex command in Tcl. Or you can use flytrap, which is another package I developed, and you have access to all these diagnostic tools. And the point is, you can have these install on the fly with Tin. So you don't have to go to that repository and install it directly. You only have to go to GitHub once. Once you go to GitHub, install Tin, then it's all good. You can just run this code and it will run for you. Even if you don't have any of it installed, it'll run. So only one time, you have to interface directly with GitHub if you don't like using GitHub, and then everything works. So, that being said, here's what the repository looks like. So, the file right here, install tin.bat. That's a batch file, so if you're on Windows, you can run that one. Otherwise, you just run the install.tcl file in a Tcl interpreter, like Tcl sh or like OpenSeas. And that's what the instructions say right here. So as long as you have Tcl and Git installed, then all you need to do is go to the release page, download the source code for the most recent release, which I have already done. And then you unzip the folder, which I already did. And then you can run the batch file here. Word of caution, if you're downloading from the internet, which you likely will be, it will throw some security, potential security problem because it's a batch file, which that's just what Windows does if you're working with Windows. So you can either just ignore that, or you can also open up a terminal, and then you can just do Tcl sh install.tcl. That'll install it for you. Or you can do OpenSeas install.tcl. That'll also run it. If I run the batch file directly, install tin.bat. Oh. That one doesn't work. Oh, because I'm in PowerShell. That's why. But if I just double click this, then it'll say tin is now installed. So, anyways. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. But once you have that installed, so if I open up, let's say if I open up OpenSeas. There's OpenSeas, package, I'll zoom this in a little bit so you can see it. So package require tin, for example. So tin 1.0 is there. Now, tin import, let's do tin import vutil. And that's the most recent version, 1.1. So as I mentioned, new list x123. So that's like an object, and I can do $x and it'll show the value. I can do, the first index. That'll be like that. X at 0 to 1 is that range. So just a different way to do lists, for example, or you could do like new float, y 4, and then y is 4.0, for example. So you can have like a numerical value. So that's one of the features. But again, this is not actually part of tin. This is part of vutil, which you can install directly with tin. So the point of this is that tin is just a framework that gets you access to all this cool stuff, and also allows people to share new things. So if I, for example, release a new version of vutil, you'd be able to open up OpenSeas here, and then get my new version directly from OpenSeas or Tcl sh or whatever Tcl interpreter you're using. So, anyways, so that's that. The main one you should know is just tin import. It's like the most versatile one. Tin upgrade is also useful to know, and if you want to know more, just go to the documentation. Documentation will have everything you need to know, and more. So you have all the different ones that are available for installation right now. How to add packages like manually to the tin database. How to add like repositories that are configured specifically for tin to the database. How to like fetch new versions. How to remove and modify the list. How to save a user configuration so that when you load it up again, it will load in your preferences, such as like adding a new repository or removing a repository, stuff like that. Any modifications you made to the tin database, it'll be saved. You can also get all the information, so you can really dive into what is available. And then you can install without loading. You can install only if it's not on your computer and also not load it. You can uninstall packages. You can check for upgrades. You can upgrade. You can require a package, just like package require, but also install it if you don't have it. You can import, which does package requiring and namespace import. So a whole bunch of stuff. It really, really streamlines a lot of really clunky code that I've run into with Tcl. So I'm trying to make Tcl a lot easier to use, basically. And yeah, and there's some utilities for package development, which I use for build files and installation files. So I highly recommend, if you're getting into package development and want to contribute to the TIN ecosystem, to check out the utilities for package development. And really, that's about it. I'm really happy to release this. I've been working on this for a while. I've tested it out. I have a bunch of different tests for it, so I'm quite confident in its functionality. But as with any piece of code, it could be bugs or errors or whatever. So if you end up using it and you find anything, or if you have any suggestions on how to improve it, feel free to drop a comment or raise an issue on GitHub repository, or make a pull request. I just really want this to be something that can help people collaborate more. That's really where my heart is at with this, if you care about that sort of thing. So it's all in the spirit of open source. I really want people to be able to share their work easily and also build on each other's work. So anyways, that's it for today. That's 10. Thanks for watching. Thanks for making it this far. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Bye.